All right, so let's just dive right into it today. January 13th, 2025.
Sounds good.
It's been a
It has been a day.
it's been a day, to say the least.
Yeah, a lot going on.
We've got catastrophic wildfires,
Right.
a potential break in a really long-standing conflict,
Yeah.
a shocking act of violence in Denver,
Mm-hmm.
and of course,
Course.
the never-ending saga
He's back. He's back.
of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to unpack all of that today
Sounds like a plan.
and see what we can learn from it.
Yeah. What's interesting is how these seemingly isolated events often reflect larger global trends.
Right.
We're seeing the effects of climate change, the struggle for peace, and just that constant, push and pull of political power.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what makes today's news particularly fascinating.
Yeah.
So let's start with the California wildfires. Absolutely horrifying, sweeping through Southern California.
Yeah.
24 deaths, almost 200,000 people displaced,
Those numbers are staggering.
over 12,000 structures destroyed.
It's hard to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, these numbers are just hard to grasp. I mean,
absolutely.
just the scale of the destruction.
Yeah, and what's particularly concerning is the intensity of these fires.
Right.
We're seeing this phenomenon called Fiornidos,
Yeah.
this terrifying combination of fire and tornadic winds.
Yeah.
It's a rare phenomenon,
Right.
but I think it just highlights these extreme weather conditions that we're facing more and more frequently.
I was looking at some footage online,
Yeah.
and it is unreal.
Oh,
It looks like something straight out of a disaster movie.
absolutely.
And, when you see something like that, it really does make you think about the raw power of nature
Uh-huh.
and how climate change is really amplifying these events.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that these aren't just statistics,
Right.
These fires are impacting real people
Yeah.
in devastating ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Think about Eric Garcetti, the U.S. ambassador to India. His family had to evacuate their home
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
because of these fires.
I can't even imagine dealing with that kind of stress
Right.
on top of, everything else going on in the world.
Right on top of representing the United States in India.
It just shows that, climate change doesn't discriminate.
Uh-huh. No one is immune to it.
Yeah.
And it's not just displacement.
Right.
It's the emotional toll, the financial strain.
Yeah.
Think about Tyler Perry
Yeah.
speaking out about insurance companies canceling policies
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of this crisis.
In the middle of this crisis.
People are losing their homes, their livelihoods,
Right.
and then to have their insurance fall through.
It's adding insult to injury.
Exactly. It's like a nightmare scenario unfolding.
Yeah, for sure.
But amidst all this devastation,
Yeah.
there are glimmers of hope.
Yeah, there are.
I saw that viral video of the man reunited with his dog Oreo
Oh, my God.
after losing his home.
I was a mess watching that.
Oh, I know.
I mean, just such a powerful reminder of that human-animal bond
Absolutely.
and the simple joys that can endure, even in the darkest of times.
It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit,
It is,
for sure.
for sure.
And speaking of hope, let's shift gears to the Israel-Hamas conflict.
Okay.
After years of violence,
Yeah.
there might be a chance for peace.
This is huge.
Qatar has proposed a ceasefire deal that could include a hostage release.
Okay, this is huge, but I have to admit I'm a little lost on the details.
Sure.
Can you give us a bit more context?
Yeah, absolutely. So this conflict has been going on for decades, with periods of intense fighting and fragile ceasefires.
Right.
It's a complex situation with deep-rooted historical and political issues.
Yeah.
But this proposed deal, if successful,
Right.
could mark a significant step towards lasting peace.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But is there any real hope for a lasting solution?
That's the question, isn't it?
I mean, we've seen ceasefires break down before,
Right, many
Yeah.
times.
and the violence just continues.
Uh-huh.
I was particularly struck by the statement from the Palestinian government media office
Yeah.
describing, the horrific forms of killing, ethnic cleansing, destruction, displacement
It's heartbreaking.
that they've endured.
Yeah,
I mean-
absolutely. It's a reminder of the human cost of this conflict.
Yeah.
And the deep scars that it has left on both sides.
Yeah.
So while the ceasefire offers a glimmer of hope,
Right.
the road to peace will undoubtedly be long and challenging.
Yeah. I think that's a good point to end on for this topic.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break,
Okay.
and when we come back, we'll delve into some other major news stories of the day.
Sounds good.
Makes you wonder if lasting peace is even achievable in some parts of the world.
It really does.
But, even in the midst of all this global turmoil,
Yeah.
we've got some unsettling events happening closer to home.
Right.
The Denver stabbings are just horrifying.
Absolutely
A
senseless.
seemingly random act of violence that took the life of Celinda Levno,
Tragic.
an American Airlines flight attendant.
She was 71 years old, dedicated decades to her career.
It's just
And to have it cut short like this,
senseless.
that's just...
It makes you think about safety,
Yeah.
not just for flight attendants,
Right.
but for anyone in a public space.
Absolutely. You know, American Airlines has expressed their concern, and they're working to enhance security measures for their crews.
Right.
But this incident really highlights the vulnerability we all face in our daily lives. It's a sobering thought.
Well, speaking of things that make you question the state of the world,
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about...
let's talk about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He's been in the headlines again,
Of course he has.
this time for his comments about wanting to acquire Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal.
What?
I mean, it's like he thinks he's playing a game of Risk or something.
It's unbelievable. His rhetoric
Yeah.
can be quite alarming. And it often creates diplomatic tension. You know, Jagmeet Singh, the Canadian politician,
Yeah.
issued a pretty strong warning to Trump
Right.
about the potential consequences of his 51st state talk.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around.
No, he wasn't. It's clear that these statements aren't being taken lightly.
Yeah, it's not exactly helping our global image.
Not at all.
But here's the real kicker.
Okay.
Trump was just convicted of a felony in that hush money case
Oh, wow.
that makes him the first U.S. president to enter office with a criminal record.
Uncharted territory.
I mean, what does this even mean for our country?
Right. It raises so many questions about the legitimacy of his presidency,
Yeah.
his ability to effectively govern,
Right.
and the potential for future legal challenges.
The mess.
What a mess.
I guess that's just the state of things these days. Constant chaos and uncertainty.
Seems to be.
It's a lot to process.
It is?
So maybe we need like a little mental break.
Okay.
We've still got some other news to cover, but it's a bit lighter
All right, let's take a deep breath
compared to everything we've just talked about.
and dive into some other notable stories from today.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So what else caught your eye?
Well, Meghan and Harry have been quite vocal lately,
Oh, really?
this time criticizing Meta for ending fact-checking on their platforms.
Okay, so what did they say?
They called it deeply deceptive,
Hey, interesting.
which is interesting considering their own complicated relationship with the media.
Right,
But their point about misinformation being a major problem
right.
is valid.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, I think so.
That misinformation is a serious issue.
Yeah.
Social media companies have a lot of power and influence.
A lot.
And it feels like they need to do more to address this problem.
It's a complex debate about who's ultimately responsible for truth and accuracy in the digital age.
No easy answers there.
No.
Okay, what else is going on?
King Charles is planning a visit to Poland
Okay.
to commemorate the liberation of Auschwitz.
Wow.
It's a powerful reminder of the horrors of the Holocaust.
Right.
And the importance of remembering history.
Absolutely, we can't forget the lessons of the past.
We can't.
On a lighter note, Blue Origin had another rocket launch delay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seems like space travel is still a work in progress.
It's a testament to the incredible complexity of space exploration
Right.
and the need for meticulous planning and execution.
And speaking of things that are complex and expensive,
Okay.
Mel Gibson lost his Malibu home in the fires.
Oh, wow.
Just another reminder of the far-reaching impact of this disaster.
It's a sobering thought that even the wealthy and famous aren't immune to the forces of nature.
No, they're not. And on a more relatable note,
Okay.
tennis star Naomi Osaka had someone retrieve her daughter's birth certificate from her LA home
Oh, wow.
because of the fire threat.
That's scary.
You know, it's a mother's instinct to
Yeah.
protect her child no matter what.
Absolutely.
And finally, we have to acknowledge the passing of General Hospital star Leslie Charleson.
Oh, yeah.
She was a legend, almost 50 years on the show.
A long time.
Her death is a loss for the entertainment world
It is.
and for her countless fans.
She had a remarkable career and will be greatly missed.
She will... Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
It's been a whirlwind of emotions,
It has.
from heartbreak to hope, from anger to inspiration.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to take away from all this?
Well, it's clear that we live in a complex
Right.
and often challenging world.
Yeah.
But even in the face of adversity, there are stories of resilience,
Yeah,
compassion, and the pursuit of a better future.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I guess it's about finding those glimmers of hope and holding on to them even when things seem bleak.
Exactly. And remember staying informed
Yeah.
and engaging in critical thinking.
Right.
are essential for navigating the complexities of our world.
We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend everything is fine.
We can't.
Yeah.
Knowledge is power,
Right.
but only if we use it wisely.
Well
Yeah.
said. So what's the final takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the key takeaway is this. The news, as overwhelming as it can be, is ultimately a reflection of who we are as a species.
Wow, that's deep.
But it's true. It's a story of our struggles and triumphs, our hopes and fears, our capacity for both great good and great evil.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone to go beyond the headlines,
Right.
to dig deeper, to question assumptions, to seek out diverse perspectives.
That's a powerful message.
The more we understand our world,
Yeah.
the better equipped we are to shape its future.
Thanks for that, and thanks to all of you for joining us on this deep dive into the day's news.
Until next time, stay curious.
Yeah, and that's it for our deep dive into the big events of January 13th, 2025.
It's been quite a day.
It has been a roller coaster of a day for
A
sure.
lot to process.
Yeah, but I think, we've managed to kind of unpack some of these pretty complex issues
Yeah.
and find some glimmers of hope along the way.
We did. We certainly have, it's been a fascinating journey through the headlines, I think. Exploring those connections between what seem like disparate events and then reflecting on those larger trends that are shaping our world.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know about you, but I feel like I've learned a lot today.
Me too. And I think that's the most important thing, right? Is to never stop learning to stay curious, to keep asking questions.
Couldn't agree more so. To our listeners, thanks for sticking with us through this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
We hope you found it informative and engaging.
Absolutely. And until next time,
Yeah.
stay informed, stay curious, and most importantly, stay engaged with the world around you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.